Remember when Democrats' approval rating was 26 or 28%?
One. Holy Toledo. Voters' views of the Democrats in Congress among all voters disapproved 68%. And look at the approved number, just 21%, even lower than the Democratic Party at large. This is the lowest.
What a surprise that when you take a bunch of 80-20 issues and you stand on the 20% of them, you also somehow get 20% of the votes. What a coincidence. Who could have guessed?
On record for Democrats, according to Quinnipiac University polling. You think these numbers are bad? Let's go to this side of the screen. We'll look how Democratic voters feel. Get this. The plurality of Democratic voters disapprove of Democrats in Congress
crazy.
at 49%, and just 40% approve. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Not even their own base likes them? Well, they don't like themselves.
Than these numbers.
And this is the number.
You don't get worse than these numbers? That's what you said before, but now the numbers got worse. So that's not true because the numbers were worse and now they're getting worser.
Here really driving all of this. If Democrats have turned, if Democratic voters have turned on Democrats in Congress and the Democratic Party, that's what puts the numbers at historic lows. What is it they want to be seeing, these voters?
What is going on? I'll tell you what's going on. They don't like what's coming out of some of those Senate Democrats like Chuck Schumer, because take a look at the direction of the party.
Wow.
Democratic voters on Democrats in Congress doing too little to oppose Donald Trump. Look at this, 77% should stay principled, even if it means nothing gets done in Washington.
Oh my God.
Washington, D.C., 65%. And this
even if nothing gets
is
done.
Such a difference from where we were in 2017 at this point, when just 33%.
So it says, you guys can't see this here. It says just 33% said stay principled in 2017. So the radicalization has literally doubled in less than 10 years. Oh my God.
Of Democrats say they should stay principled, compared to 59% who said they want to compromise. Democrats do not want compromise at this point. They want a fighter. They want to go into the ring like Muhammad Ali did against Sonny Liston. They want to take down the Republicans. They do not want this compromise anymore. They want to be more like Republicans, get up to that stage and fight. And right now they feel like their leaders in Congress are simply put not doing so. And that is why their approval rating for congressional Democrats is at an all-time low, even among Democrats with more disapproving than approving.
Yeah, it seems that these...
That's crazy. It's that bad. I didn't even realize it was this bad. Holy shit. I think it might even go under. I feel like it'll probably go up a little bit because of the Trump tariffs. And I think that a lot of people are against those. But I feel like on a lot of these social issues, they're just picking the wrong side. That's it. That's all it comes down to. They're picking the wrong side.
Senate Democrats, some of them are banking on the idea that there is still a political middle, as it were. We will see. We will see.
But we will see if there's a political middle. But at this point, count me skeptical that that is at least what the Democratic base wants at this point. It's going to be very interesting, John, to see moving forward whether or not there are any repercussions come 2026, because I bet there may be some coming.
Harry,
that's bad.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Sarah?
I feel like the most shocking part of that was how you dipped down and you were able to get back up without hearing any creaking or cracking. Nice to be young, isn't it, Harry?
I don't think that's only because he's young. Anyway. So, 21%. That is a crazy, crazy, crazy low number. I didn't even expect this. This makes sense. The Democratic base is shrinking. Everyone with halfway reasonable is leaving. I think that's effectively what's happening. Yeah. Oh, bro.
Be presumptively unconstitutional, right? Because before the 1960s...
Where's it? Okay, here we go.
One of my premises for the book is that every law passed before the 1965 Voting Rights Act should be presumptively unconstitutional, right? But because before the 1965 Voting Rights Act, we were functionally an apartheid country. Yeah. Not everybody who lived here could vote here. Yeah. So why should I give about some law that some old white man passed in the 1920s, like the Immigration and Nationality Act, when they passed our fundamental my premises for the book.
If you get rid of every law before 1960, wasn't there a law against slavery? Like, you don't really mean every law, do you? I mean, how do you... Yeah, what are you thinking? Murder's racist? I guess so. And only the ones that he doesn't like. Okay. That's right. Yeah, I've seen... I saw this guy, and this is it. So, we don't want to follow laws that are made by white people. Like, what? How do you bring somebody like that onto your show? And like, oh, I wonder why I wonder why nobody likes us. Yeah, I think that's the reason why. And it's also, he explicitly stated that he thinks the Constitution is trash. I mean, it's his freedom of speech, right? It's the First Amendment. And, you know, it's great that we live in a country that somebody this stupid can go on television and tell everybody about how stupid they are. I think it's great. But man, is it fucking dumb. That guy's a moron. Yeah, he wrote a book? I guess so. Didn't Whoopi Goldberg get sued? Yeah, people need to see someone like this. They do. And what about the law to prevent slavery? Hey, you know, like, that's not, I wouldn't think about that. And look at this. This was in March. It's getting worse by the month. Oh my God.
Didn't vote for Trump, I take it?
No, I voted for Harris Waltz like a normal person.
Normal.
And I'll take the L. I can't even believe that we lost.
Bro, she looks like she's dressed up to cosplay the Fifth Element. You're talking people about how there are other people are the ones that aren't normal. Like, I'm sorry, but like, we really need to stop getting, we really need to stop having people that are doing this to try to tell everybody else what's normal. This is it. It's crazy, especially her acting out.
Didn't vote for Trump, I take it?
No, I voted for Harris Waltz like a normal person.
Yeah.
Normal.
And I'll take the L. I can't even believe that we lost. I can't even believe it. What the f are you thinking? Stop ruining your own country. Jesus Christ. Like, he
What
gives
does
a
he
shit.
have?
She about to pop off. You can see, bro, like...
Stop ruining your own country. Jesus Christ. Like, he
What
gives
does
a
he
shit
have to do with
about
this?
any of you. If you think for a second that he would do anything for you, you are so wrong. He doesn't.
Keep in mind, all of this was just about one question. See, yes, we're running into, this is one of the saddest things ever, is the hot goth girls that you went to high school with are now turning into Karens. They're black-haired Karens with My Chemical Romance t-shirts. And collars on. How did this happen?
Doesn't give a shit about you. I don't know why you give a shit about him.
TDS.
You shouldn't.
Trump
I think it has
derangement
to do
syndrome.
With you see him getting away with all his bad shit, and you think that maybe there's a chance for you to get away with your bad shit. Take a look at yourself.
Did she just say take a look at yourself? And gross.
Be good.
Oh my goodness.
Good. Jesus. That just came out of me.
Listen, she said this just came out of me. Yeah, you just had a full-blown
Meltdown.
exorcism. Demons just came out of you. And did she have the audacity to say the word gross? Really?
Yeah, it's normal. Like, yeah, we're gonna get to, yeah, this, let's listen to this about normal, right? And higher cheer, yeah, that is nuts, bro. Like, she just popping on. Oh my God. And this is something.
What do you say to the people who, in your constituency, who might feel like, hey, why are we doing this? What's the big deal with this sanctuary city thing? If people are illegally in the country, shouldn't we arrest them and get rid of them?
Yeah.
What is the big deal?
Yeah, we are, again, we're the safest city because we're safe for everyone. In a community where over a quarter of your residents were born in another country.
The safest city? Boston mayor? I heard Boston was kind of a PvP server. So it's the 16th safest for violent crime. So it's not the safest city, but it's not the most dangerous city either.
In a community where over a quarter of your residents were born in another country, if people are afraid to drop their kids off at school or call 911 when they need help or share information when they actually have information to report.
Well, the thing is that every single person who was born in another country did not immigrate to America illegally. That's the crazy thing about it, is that there are people who have immigrated to the country by following the protocol of immigration. So, and this is what they do, and this is the reason why you have you guys noticed that there's a lot of, there's been a really big uptick in negative resentment towards all immigrants, period? Have you guys noticed this? I'm sure I'm not the only person who's noticed this. Yeah, like all forms of immigration, right, exactly. And legal immigration too, exactly. And I think that these people in this type of messaging has been, I keep seeing memes about deleting legal ones too. Oh, I'll give you a meme. Yep. And so anyway, this is how things are now. And so you're having a lot of people that are now, they're even against legal immigration. And the reason why is because these people do legal immigrants a huge disservice by lumping them in with illegal aliens. Like, this is a massive fucking difference. And they're basically just putting them all in the same boat.
About a crime that happened, that makes everyone less safe, whether or not you are an immigrant, whether or not you're here in this country 6 generations or just arrived. So we're really focused on being that home for everyone, and it's worked. And so all of the buzz around, you know, whether these kinds of cities that are more welcoming for immigrants are more dangerous, it's about a false narrative that immigrants are somehow more likely to commit crimes or cause.
See, this is what they do, is they never talk about the difference between legal and illegal immigrants. They just put them all in the same category. And what this is doing is it's creating a xenophobic reaction in the US because it's making people believe them and think that all immigrants are like this. And so you're seeing much more negativity towards just average immigrants. And it's really sad to see this because you have people that are, let's say, from Pakistan or from India who have followed the protocol and they're doctors in America, and they're getting lumped in with people that have crossed the border illegally and are, you know, surviving due to identity theft and, you know, being paid under the table that disenfranchises American workers. And they're being put in this same category, and you're hurting those people. And I find it to be a huge problem. And I think that this is the reaction to it. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Exactly. I think they're purposely farming xenophobia to create more censorship. I don't think they're going to have more censorship. Yeah, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I would consider myself very liberal, but with immigration, but these last few years and numerous incidents have had me taking a hard line on this stuff. Yeah, and I think that, like, again, it's the willful, repeated, consistent dishonesty of refusing to make a distinction between legal and illegal immigrants. And I think that what it's doing, again, is that it's causing a massive amount of resentment towards legal immigrants because these people want a virtue signal. It's awful. But are you an immigrant also? Who decides? Who decides whether I'm an immigrant or not? Well, the government decides because they're the ones who decide citizenship and whether you're in the country. What do you mean, who decides? What? My family's been here since before the Revolutionary War. Yeah, a birth certificate, a social security number that's attached to your name? Like, what are you talking about?
Harm, and that is just simply not true. We know that in our city, where our immigrant communities are entrepreneurs, are holding up our health, the best hospitals in the country, the universities and jobs that we all rely on. And in order to make sure that we can keep that progress going, everyone has to feel part of it.
Nope. It's so fucking funny. She's so dishonest. She is. And the problem also is that illegal immigration creates a lot of other secondary problems. like identity theft and other types of fraud. And then you also have the secondary, like a tertiary problem even, of people that use the identity theft and fraud in order to obtain jobs that are, you know, like really you're paying these people under the table. And so what happens is that these companies pay these illegal immigrants less money, or they pay them wages that are not advantageous. And now this company has created a competitive advantage against other companies that are not actively breaking the law. So unless they're being held accountable for that, you're going to have that be the new default.
San Francisco is launching a new speed safety pilot program backed by Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom, where how much you pay for a speeding ticket depends on who you are. And it's all in the name of equity. On its website, the City Transportation Authority goes out of its way to explain that speed safety cameras will be dispersed across San Francisco in a, quote, equitable fashion. But not everyone will have to pay the same if they get a ticket. Get this. Low-income offenders qualify for steep fine discounts, guys, up to half off. And if you're homeless but speeding in your vehicle, you can get up to 80% discount. Jerry, here's just one of the many problems I have with this. The reason for this program, for the speed cameras, was reportedly because of high injury areas, meaning where pedestrians have been hit and killed. So since all lives are equal, why are we giving discounts on speeding tickets when everyone should understand how serious it is to drive safely where people have died?
I couldn't believe this when I read this. I was like, is this...
This is crazy. This is insane. So protect those people less? Yeah, it's not. It's a decent idea, but they presented it so stupidly. Yeah, it's nuts.
It's really true. We are all equal in the eyes of the law. Oh, no, we're not. We're not all equal in the eyes of the law. Okay, so might this get extended eventually? So maybe if I commit a burglary and I don't have a lot of money, maybe that's okay. Or maybe I get a reduced sentence. Or I just don't understand the logic operating here. I think we should all be equal in the eyes of the law, and everybody should pay the same fine, serve the same sentence.
Yeah.
The problem is that, like, I see this happen, and, like, there's, like, a degree of this that I'm, like, kind of okay with, where it's, like, if you make a lot of money and you're speeding all the time, but, like, this is the way I see it. If you're getting speeding tickets regularly, you don't need to be getting speeding tickets. You need to go to prison. You need to go to jail. You need to have your license taken away. Like, I mean, really, that's the way I see it. Like, I mean, because the thing is, like, why is speeding against the law? Because people get in accidents more when they're going really fast. And not only do they get in accidents more, but they also make the accidents that they're getting into much more deadly. So that's really legal. Tickets means legal for a price. Yeah, exactly. Jail for violent offenders. Jail is for violent offenders. In my opinion, I think that if you're doing something unsafe and putting the public at risk, then you are doing something violent. It just didn't have the time to connect yet. So, like, it's almost like if you catch somebody premeditating a murder, then you're going to still put them in jail, right? And I think it's not the same thing, but it's like kind of the same principle, where this is a person who's doing something that is putting other people's lives at risk, and they're doing it substantially, and they're doing it in a way that's, like, repeated. Everybody knows that the number says 45. If you're going 85 and the number says 45, and you've done this more than one time, you need to go to jail. Actually, you need to have your license taken away. You don't need to go to jail. Just take their license away. Everybody knows that you're not supposed to do that. There's nobody that can't understand this. So, and also, if you can't understand it, then you shouldn't have had the license to begin with, because you can't read a fucking sign. So, that's how it works in the EU. Exactly, yes. Then drive anyway? Well, then they go to prison. Yeah, it's so simple. No license, take the bus? Yeah, exactly. But the individual has to feel it, and that's relative. If the individual has to feel it, well, what I'm saying is that for repeat offenders for speeding, they need to feel it, but not, there shouldn't, like, I don't really believe in a lot of fines, if you guys have noticed, because a fine, I think, is generally a tax on the lower class. And so, like, and this is the part of, like, where I kind of do agree with, but I just don't think that should be the way it gets solved. The fact is that, like, if you're going to fine somebody for this, okay, that's, like, well, then what the fuck does that do? Like, if you're finding a millionaire, then they're just going to go and speed again. So you need to have a system that makes it to where people don't want to speed the second time, right? I mean, that's my viewpoint. That's how I see it. Trans students' arrest for violating Florida bathroom law is thought to be a first. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Is that what it is? They got NBC News. Uh-oh. Let's see if there's a video about this. The transgender college student declared, "I am here to break the law," before entering a woman's bathroom in the Florida state capitol and being let out in handcuffs by police. Fuck around and fight. Yeah, it's a rip bozo. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, you don't need to be going in the other bathroom. You don't. Like, that's it. I mean, it's just, again, it's a matter of safety and privacy. And that's something that transcends like, your gender identity doesn't give you the right to make another person uncomfortable. And especially whenever it's like a 100-to-1 ratio, right? Where it's like 100 people are this way, you're this way, but you make 100 people uncomfortable, but somehow they're the ones that are the problem and not you. Like, really, I mean, I've always said this, is like, you got to learn to fit in. You got to learn to get along with people, right? Make the majority unsafe. I mean, the reality is, like, yeah, so stunning, babe. Enjoy prison. Yeah, I feel like, honestly, I think this is done to create a legal test case, given that she notified everyone beforehand. Yeah, absolutely, that's what it was. Yeah, 100%. Sissel and Walmart accused her for being trans, said a security risk, didn't tell a salaried manager. That just seems like some bullshit. Anti-trans laws are just discriminatory and hateful. I mean, it's not discriminatory and hateful to say that women, like, okay. Bathrooms are not gendered. They're sex-based. Even if you think you can change your gender, that doesn't mean that you can change your sex. That's how it works. It's the same thing? Well, under their logic, it's not even the same thing. You have to talk about a trans girl, one's more likely to assault your daughter, is a Republican lawmaker or preacher telling you the law is necessary. I mean, why not just use the right bathroom? Like, it's not that hard. Transgender bathroom bans have nothing to do to help others. Well, people don't like it, and they don't want to have the ideology forced on them and told them that and be told they're a bad person because they don't agree with it. Like, you spend years and years telling people that they're a bad person and then having a community attack people for, voicing any sort of uncertainty or trepidation towards it, or like, basically, you made it to where, like, women can't be comfortable, and if they express not being comfortable, they get attacked. And you're going to be surprised that there's some people that don't like that. I mean, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, I don't. But, like, this is an 80-20 issue that they are on the losing side of. You can't tell a trans woman with bottom surgery to go to the same bathroom as men with dicks. Let's be reasonable. Yeah, you can. So I have, like, kind of a priority list in my mind. So if underage people can use the bathroom, then the safety and comfort of those underage people is more important than an adult's gender identity being affirmed. So while, yeah, I don't think it's a big deal either, that's just simply not the priority. Like, one is greater than the other. And I understand, like, you might think, oh, well, there's like a circumstance where this would make sense or whatever, but I just don't see it there. I'm not about it. Should kids get separate bathrooms? No. You should just use. So what we have to reorient all of our bathroom system because a handful of people want to use the wrong bathroom. What the fuck? Like, what are you thinking? What do you think? So we have to reorient and redo the whole bathroom system because of, like, this tiny fucking fraction. Fuck no. Fit in. Acclimate to the rules. Stop being so narcissistic that you think the world needs to conform around you. We don't need 7 different fucking bathrooms. You need 2 bathrooms, that's it. You want to have a gender neutral bathroom, I think that would be that's fine, okay? Not even just for gender neutral, but for people that have disabilities. I think that probably, in my opinion, I think that's the best solution, but you can't expect every place to have 3 fucking bathrooms because they might not have the space or the money for that.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1312 All those in favor say aye.
Legal protections
those
for
opposed say
transgender
no.
individuals.
The ayes have it. House Bill 1312 has passed.
Wow. Makes misgendering a discriminatory act and takes children away from their parents that dead name or misgender their kids. They seriously passed this shit? Well, yeah, it's in Colorado. This is a parody? Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. Libs of TikTok is not always accurate, right? I mean, let's be fucking honest. But, like, this is what it says. The Kelly Loving Act provides that when making child custody decisions determining the best interests of the child for purposes of parenting time, a court shall consider dead naming, misgendering, and threaten to publishing material to an individual's gender-affirming healthcare services as coercive control. So let me get this straight. So, like, kids can be taken away from their parents and they can lose custodial rights if they don't think the kid is another gender. It's literally evil. It's wild, right? Because, like, it's like that one guy's video where, like, he had a, you know, like, his ex-wife is some crazy bitch and she's, like, going and making, like, their kid trans. And, he, like, they said the kid, like, was like a baby trans kid. Like, oh, my God, bro. Like, how do you do this? How a trans toddler? Holy shit, man. Like, there should be a law against that. They should lose the fucking custody themselves. How do we get here? Karen's. That's how.
How does the mirror know what I'm doing if I've got it covered?
The mirror is inanimate. It don't know nothing.
How can you see what my head is doing on the other side if I've got this up in front of me?
Because I can see your reflection.
How does the mirror know what I'm doing on the other side?
The mirror doesn't know what you're
Is
doing.
it showing what I'm doing on the other side?
I think there's a camera in the mirror.
Can you see me on the...
Your theory about incels and Karens becoming the root of all problems seems less and less far-fetched. That's because it's not.